of like very traditional kind of North American games and activities. So we're pretty excited about that activity and the ability to do that. The last big piece of the Jamboree program, and what I want to talk about today, is what we call the connected experience. And the idea is that this Jamboree will be the first ever truly global Jamboree. So if you think about most World Jamborees, 25, 30, 35,000 scouts would all come to one place, and they'd get a chance to meet each other and hang out. But if you were a scout at home who didn't come, other than hearing stories from your friend when you got back, that was pretty much it. We're trying to make sure that every scout in the world has a chance to participate in this Jamboree. And we're doing that through a couple ways. One of the things you'd expect is a very robust social media presence. If you're not already following 2019 WSJ on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat, you should definitely be doing that. But we're also doing a few other things that are going to allow you to stay connected even if you're on the call and not able to attend the Jamboree. So for example, one, every country will have the ability to appoint what we're calling an ambassador. The ambassador will be one scout in the country's contingent who will be given a camera and other tools to record their entire Jamboree experience for all the scouts back home. So we'll give you like a GoPro. We're going to give you your own spot. And by the way, I'm sorry for everybody on the phone. My dog is eating something next to me, so I have to do it.
No vinieron.
There we go. Okay. So those scouts will have the chance to record everything from their scouts in their home country, post on media accounts that we'll set up for them. So if you're not coming to the Jamboree, you'll still have the chance to watch another scout from your country participate. Tell them what to do. Pretty cool. There's going to be at the Jamboree a number of activities like TED Talks. There'll be some live streams of all the shows. So if you're not coming, there'll be a lot of content that you'll be able to watch during the Jamboree from home, which will be really neat for you to be able to be participating. And then the last big thing, which is really exciting, is we're using the Jamboree as an activation activity for next year's JOTA-JOTI. So our Jamboree theme, as I mentioned, is to unlock a new world. And we really see that JOTA-JOTI, the thing we're doing today, is this incredibly cool opportunity for scouts to connect in a way that they even can't at the Jamboree. And so what we'll do is we'll ask every scout at the Jamboree, we'll talk a lot about JOTA-JOTI, and we're going to ask them to go back home and help encourage more people to participate in this and have the biggest JOTA-JOTI we've ever had next summer. So that's a little bit of an overview of the Jamboree. I would love to answer any questions that people have. You can ask them. You can type them into the chat window. Jim, I don't know if you want to facilitate that or how to do that, but I'm happy to answer questions that anybody has.
Yeah, well, very good, Ed. I have muted most of the lines. I figured out how to do that. So let me unmute the phones if I can figure out how to do that. Well, oh my. Well, that's kind of crazy. Hold on here.
No problem.
I'm clicking on the little microphones and they're not unmuting.
Well, one thing to do, and if people want to type questions, they can do that, and I'm happy to answer the questions that people type into the chat window. That's fine too.
Well, and I got maybe you have to. Some of them are turning on, so that might be it might be working.
So Paisley, while we're talking here, Paisley wants to know how long the zip line is at the summit. So there's actually a handful of summits at the, or excuse me, a handful of zip lines at the Summit Bechtel Reserve where we're doing this event. The big zip, the total length of the zip lines is over 3,000 feet, which is pretty crazy. The big zip itself, which as I mentioned is the longest zip line in North America. When you're on it, you go over 50 miles per hour. For those from Europe, I don't know how to convert that to kilometers, but it's really fast. But the actual big zip itself, the longest one, I'm trying to find the length here now. You'll have to excuse me. But it looks to be, like I said, the total length of them all is 3,000 feet. Oh yeah, no, I'm correct. The big zip is 3,000 feet. There you go, exactly. So, which again, I'm sorry, I can't have to convert to meters. I guess it's like close to 1,000 meters.
Mr. Lynes, I don't know if you can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Yes. You bet.
Okay, perfect. I'm Donald. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, at Georgia Tech. Really excited to be at my first JOTI. And I was wondering, if all the really interesting things that are going to happen at the World Scout Jamboree, how will scouts balance, or how will their schedules be a mix of both, high adventure things and interact with other scouts, and then all the other things that the World Scout Jamboree has to offer?
That's a great question. So, the theme that we have, and I might be dating myself, I don't know people on the phone. When I was a kid, there were these books called Choose Your Own Adventure books. And you would read the book and you'd be able to be faced with a decision, and you could go change the book however you wanted to and turn to different parts of the book. Mm-hmm. We see the Jamboree program the same way. So there's going to be a lot of program to do. We don't expect people to do all of it. So there's a device we're using called Click for the Jamboree wide game. If you actually go to the Jamboree Facebook page, you'll see a video from this past summer where we explained the game a little bit. But it's a wristband that you wear on your wrist, and that's your access to the participation award. It tells you what programs you can go to. We're creating the program so that you'll have the ability to earn the participation award and have the ability to participate in the Jamboree in whatever way that you want. So if you come to the Jamboree and you decide, I want to spend the whole Jamboree meeting scouts from around the world, and I don't want to do any of the adventure programs, all I want to do is that, then not only are we going to encourage that, you're going to be able to earn the participation award, you're going to be able to meet people, you can do nothing but that. If you're a scout who says, I'm really interested in sustainability and I want to spend my time really learning about the Global Development Village, that's an option too. We don't expect that scouts will do everything. We expect that they'll pick the activities that they're most interested in. Our goal is to give everybody as many options as they can. So I think if you're coming to the Jamboree, you shouldn't expect to be able to do it all, but you should be able to. You should expect that there will be as many programs as you could possibly want to do, for sure.
Okay. Wow. Thank you.
We are this.
Yeah. Other questions for Ed? I saw one here. How large is the campsite from Brandon at Unit 92?
Brandon, it's huge is the answer. So the summit, most World Jamborees take place in a park or somewhere that the host country identifies. The Boy Scouts of America actually own the facility where we're doing this event, and it's where we host our American Jamboree. But the size of the summit is enormous. It's over 14,000 acres. So for again, those on the metric system, that's more than 57 square kilometers. So it's pretty huge.
I'll also mention that not only with that 14,000 acres, it's connected along a large portion of the border with the national river, the only national river in the U.S. called the New River. It's also the only river on the East Coast, maybe on North America, or not North America, but on the East Coast that flows north. Most of the rivers in the U.S. either flow east, west, or mostly south. And so there's whitewater rafting there. It's just it's a wonderland of outdoor adventure in West Virginia at the summit. Not to be missed if you ever have the opportunity. So Well, I'm hearing no questions. Let's see. I will mention, Ed had noted that it's going to be a kickoff for Jamboree on the Air, Jamboree on the Internet, the largest scouting event in the world. But there is an amateur radio station at the summit. The call sign is NA1WJ for North America's first World Jamboree. And it's going to be on the air all the time. So stop by, get on the air, and talk to some other scouts around the world. We're also hoping to have a contact with the International Space Station to talk with an astronaut. And for this campfire is a bonus. There's my JID code for your guys playing the Jam Puzz game. So copy that down. And I'm in Texas. Ed is in New Jersey?
I am, yes.
Okay.
It's the worst of the 50 United States for those.
Hello.
Very good.
7US17.
So,
I had
Jim,
another question. If
there's a handful of other questions that I want to make sure we answer.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Hello.
Other questions?
I was wondering.
And you have a question.
Sorry, you go.
Please go ahead.
Okay.
I'm from
The,
Singapore.
this is for the Japanese scouts. Which province are you in at the moment?
Sorry, ask that question one more time, please.
It's for the Japanese scouts on the call.
Yep.
Which province are you in?
Which programs are we offering?
I think he's asking province, which in the United States we call states.
Yeah, so I'm in New Jersey, and Jim is in Texas. So if you look at the map of the United States and you look for Philadelphia, which is actually the city where the United States was founded, but if you look for Philadelphia on the map, I live like right there.
Go.
Hello.
Can we ask some questions?
Can we ask
I
some
have
questions, please?
question actually.
Yeah,
for
we have
Mr.
some questions.
You
We are
mentioned,
from Tunisia and we want to ask you some questions.
Yes,
Okay,
please.
we'll take one from Donald first. Donald, go ahead.
okay, well, I'm sorry.
But
Go ahead, Donald. Oh,
Okay.
congrats.
I was wondering, Ms. Lynes, you'd mentioned the World Scout Jamboree and how digital it will be, and people all over the world will hopefully be able to see it. And I was interested in what is your favorite way to share things over the internet? Do you have a specific social media? Or do you have a blog or that sort of thing? What is the way that you prefer to share?
Yeah, so for me personally, I'm a big Instagram guy. I like Instagram more than the other social networks. So that's my approach with the Jamboree. The approach that we're going to use is to share as many places as possible. I think everyone's got different habits, so there'll be a lot of things you'll be able to follow even through WhatsApp. As part of the World Jamboree. But personally for me, Instagram. One other question that I saw, somebody asked about information in Spanish. So the Jamboree's 3 official languages are English, French, and Spanish. Everything related to the Jamboree is available in English, French, and Spanish. I just sent a link to the Spanish version of the site in our chat. There's also the ability to switch that to French or English. So if you speak any of the above, English, French, or Spanish, all of the Jamboree information is available in all of them.
Hello. Hello. We are from Tunisia and we want to ask you some questions, please.
Go right ahead.
The Jamboree is for us, but it costs too much and we can't go inside and participate in this camping. So we want to ask you, how can we participate like voluntary leaders, or can we participate with less money.
Yeah, so I know that traveling to the Jamboree, the World Jamboree, can be very expensive. So what we're doing is making a point to make sure that scouts across the world can participate without needing to actually come to the Jamboree. So there'll be a handful of things you'll be able to do as part of that. Every country will have an ambassador who's designated by your National Scout organization. They'll have a page on the Jamboree website where they can post